going to Heinz Field today. We up in here, Heinz Field. I know I'm late, but it don't matter. I'm late. I'm here. I'm going to be here. What's up with y'all up out there, man? I hope that everybody is having a wonderful Sunday and college football Sunday, man. NFL Sunday. Dang, man, I be still stuck on college football, but it's just been a crazy up and down week, man. It's going on. Look, college football is going on this the exact way that I thought it would be going, and as it should be. What up? What up? Solid Gold. What up, man? Ain't nothing. Hola, senor. You know what I mean? Hola. Talking about, I thought that shit was going the way it's going. Right now, y'all, we looking at Colorado, and Colorado's in the driver's seat right now, actually being in a Big 12 championship game. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, bro? Who would have thought that they're right there about to be in the cusp of going into the Big 12 championship game? I'm excited because my Pittsburgh Steelers won. You know what I'm saying? We won the game. Um in a very heated division rival game with the Baltimore Ravens. We just got their number though. You know what I mean? We have their number. We know how to play the Baltimore Ravens. That is a game that I figured that we would win. My team is ready to play. I think that you may see some crazy things about the team, but a dub is a dub to me. I don't care. I don't care if we'd have kicked 17 field goals to win that game. We won a football game, and that's it. That's it with me. Would I like to see our offense score? Absolutely. And I think that we absolutely should have been able to score on that Ravens defense. Kyle Hamilton did come back today. I think that he may have helped that team a little bit more in the secondary as far as the Baltimore Ravens is going. But I've seen some things on that football field today that I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that Najee couldn't get going the way he couldn't get going. Russ seemed a little bit stagnant up until he forced the ball to George Pickens. I thought he missed some other throws that in that game. But look, man, all in all, I'm all right with the game, man. We got the dub, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? I thought that we probably should have pulled it off. Now, this just this whole the sports conversation, just having a conversation about sports this weekend. Look, BYU lost to Kansas. A lot of us out here thought that BYU would be a lot worse and Kansas would be a lot better. Kansas is playing how we thought Kansas should have been playing the whole entire season from jump. From jump. Kansas is looking the way that we thought they would look from jump right now. And that's crazy. What's up, Coach Hayes? I appreciate you, man. And for sure, I'm gonna keep it up grinding. You know what I mean? What up with it, man? And that's it's crazy to say that, right? That Kansas could be they're the way that they're looking right now. And BYU and Colorado could be playing for the Big 12 championship football game. Oh my goodness, man. Man, shout out to Colorado, man. Shout out to Colorado, man. Shout out to all the CU fans in Colorado and everything. Because look, Colorado is looking and doing what a lot of us out there that were called haters, what we thought they should have been doing. Better blocking schemes for the offensive line, getting the ball out of Shador's hands quicker with some routes, some different route schemes, running the ball a lot more, and they're throwing a lot of that. And look at the result, and they're playing tough defense, and they're playing good defense. At the point of attack, BJ Green is going off. You said I'll be on the second, brother. I'm finishing something. All right, I got you. I got you, Charlotte. You got a seat. You'll be all right. Um, and I'm not surprised that they're doing it the way they're doing it. Colorado. I'm actually happy that Colorado's doing these things, and it's just like, man. But for him to do this in his second year, right, is crazy because I didn't want people to put unfair expectations upon Coach Prime in this season. But at the same time, now now that he's breaking down these barriers and he got this game on in a stranglehold right now, man, it's gonna get it's gonna get ugly, man. It's gonna get ugly for a lot of folks, man. I mean, for a lot of people out there, man. They didn't want this to happen because now the sky's the limit for what he can do. Do I think he's gonna leave? Nah, he ain't going nowhere. But that's besides the point, man. Just to talk about another college football thing that surprised me, Georgia beating Tennessee and the way that they beat Tennessee yesterday. And then, oh my, what? 31-17. They beat them 31-17. And they just took a L and they got dominated the week before by Ole Miss. Come out this week with a very good Tennessee football team that a lot of us are high on, right? Looking at Nico, I can't even pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try. Quarterback for Tennessee. But looking at the way he's been playing and carrying that offense, that young man has, that true freshman, he's been doing a great job at carrying that offense the way that he's been carrying that offense. But now Georgia comes in, they go down to Georgia, and Georgia puts a just mangling on them 31-17. Like, wow, like you're like, man. But I figured that would happen in the SEC. Was I 100% sure on that? No, I didn't. I wasn't 100% sure on that. That's tried to follow the moves in the transfer portal, some of what the teams were doing in the offseason, and me and Shad talked about it, and we said it like, man, the SEC is going to be crazy. There very well be a team that can be the SEC champion with 2 losses this football season. And he was like, yeah, I agree with you, Trucking. Like, that's crazy. And we could be looking at that. And now now there's this question that comes up to everyone out here, including myself. And when I asked the question the last time we had a panel, and I said, could we have a 3-loss SEC team make the college football playoff? Is that too far-fetched of a question right now to be asked? I don't really know if it is or not, y'all. To be honest, I really don't know if that's like a question that's like, oh, you're bugging, like, or no, that won't happen. Because if we look at the SEC, right, we know this is the top-notch league in football. It still is. It still has the most talent, right? We can agree on that. It still has some of the best coaching in college football. We all can agree on that, right? And if you look at that league, and especially the top 6 teams that's been battling back and forth and beating each other back and forth, you match up those top 6 teams with, I don't know, the top 6 teams, anyone in any conference in college football. I don't even think they're close to them. I don't even think they're close to them. Like, so with that being said, and me saying this, I'm gonna pull it. I'll pull some of this stuff up, and just so we can all out there, that everybody that might be watching and following on, that we can all look and see what's going on with the standings and schedules and so forth and so on. Because I don't think that's a crazy question to ask at this point, or something that would be bad to do. Because all right, so let me get this pulled up real quick, man. I'm gonna get this get some of these rankings and standings, college football standings pulled up and everything, so everybody can try to follow along with me out there when I'm saying this. Okay, so now I got some of the college football standings pulled up straight up off of Google, the Google machine. Shout out to them. Look, so this is Colorado, right? Colorado. This is BYU. This is the Big 12. BYU's up there. Colorado, second place. Shout out to Colorado. Arizona State, Iowa State, Baylor, and Kansas State. Those are the top 6 teams right there, right? In the Big 12. The top 6 teams in the Big 12. Let's go over to the Big 10. All right. You got Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State, Illinois, Iowa. Those are the top 6 teams right there. All right, cool. So the other power conference, now we got to go over to the other power conference, which is the ACC. Got SMU, Clemson, Miami in third place right now. Syracuse, Louisville, and Georgia Tech. Those are the top 6 teams in the ACC right now. Now, yeah, we're gonna go to the SEC. We'll slide over to the SEC now. You got Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss. Yeah, those are the top 6 teams there. South Carolina is creeping in. Those are the top 6 teams right there. So just for shits and giggles, y'all, and just to think about it, you don't mean to tell me that those top 6 teams, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss, match them up with anybody out of those top 6 teams that we just said right there. Any of those top 6 teams, do you really think that they cannot run through those teams? Just be honest, y'all. Let's think about it. But that's why I wanted to come in here and I wanted to have these conversations and everything. What up, Solid? What up, man?
What's up, brother? What's up? Go ahead. I was listening. Go ahead.
Like, let's have that conversation. And that's why I wanted to have the panel today, because I'm sitting there thinking about it and I'm like, bruh, I'm not crazy for thinking that am I super crazy for thinking that a 3-loss SEC team can make the college football playoff or should make the college football playoff?
I mean, by strength of schedule, the only person I think with 3 losses that should be able to make the playoffs is Georgia. Maybe Texas A&M. If Texas was to have 3 losses, no, their strength of schedule and how many ranked wins they got don't add up. Mm-hmm. I'll say Ole Miss too. Let me say this. I'll say Texas A&M, Georgia, Alabama, and Ole Miss. They both had 3 losses. They would have a case to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Right? Ole Miss beat Georgia. They've also beaten Mizzou. They've also beaten somebody else that's top tier 2. Who did they beat at the beginning of the season? I forgot who they beat. But anyway, Alabama, maybe.
So
yeah. Go ahead.
So looking at the top 6 teams from every other league, right? I don't know how long you've been following along, Solid or not. Mm-hmm. Do you think any of those top 6 teams can stand a chance versus the SEC top 6 teams?
No. I could just no. You put the top 6 versus the top 6 in any conference, the SEC is blowing them out the water. It's not even close.
Out the water. That's what I'm saying. Like, so
me, the biggest blasphemy about the playoffs is, in my opinion, Penn State. They have not played anybody. Anybody. And for them to be, I don't have a problem with them being in 12. I have a problem with it ranked. Number 4, number 5 in the country, unacceptable. They are not the 4th or 5th best team in the country. If anything, I would say 1 would be Oregon, 2 would be, in my opinion, I'm not saying
after Oregon struggled with unranked Wisconsin
yesterday. Yeah. I mean, every team's going to have a bad week, but their bad week still resulted into a win. I would say Oregon number 1. My opinion, just based off what I've seen so far, I would go Ole Miss number 2. By just the eye test. Ole Miss is number 2. Alabama's number 3. 4 would probably be.
Let me get this. Let me get it pulled up. I don't know if they got the college football rankings. I don't think they changed.
1 Oregon, 2 Ole Miss, 3. What did I say 3 was? Alabama. 4, I would probably go Georgia. 5, I would go Tennessee. 6.
Notre Dame.
Ohio State. No, I'll have Ohio State number 6. 7, I would put Texas. 8. Who's number? Yeah, 8, I would put Notre Dame. 9, I would throw in Miami. 10, I would go.
Interesting.
Penn State. 11, I would go Indiana, and 12, I would go Boise State. I think that's just by eye test, those are the top 12 teams in that order.
Boise almost let them boys walk away with one yesterday, man.
Honestly speaking, I just don't. This is my personal opinion. I know people might not agree with it. I don't think the Group of 5 should ever be in the playoffs, even in the 12 teams. I think they should have their own. I don't think because
I agree. Explain why. Go ahead. You cooking. Go
ahead. The
reason
why is because outside what's creeping Boise in the top 12 is that three point loss to Oregon. But what people don't understand is that the first week of the season, everybody starts off slow. It's the way of football nowadays. People are not able to have the amount of practices that they need. They're not able to have two a days. They're not able to do any of those things to actually put their guys and get them in in a fluid motion. I would say Texas A&M is a better team than Boise State. SMU is a better team than Boise State. I don't think BYU is, but I think BYU's still in the top 25. I just think they're
Yeah.
at the end. I don't think they're better than Colorado, and I don't think they're better than Texas A&M or SMU.
Who ain't better than Colorado?
BYU, yeah, big BYU. I don't think they're better than. I don't think they're better than Colorado, Texas A&M, or SMU, in my opinion.
So Colorado, because that Colorado's probably gonna. So you think they're gonna win so you think Colorado's gonna win a Big 12 championship game?
If I'll say this, if they don't screw it up, what I mean by if they go out there and take care of business, the Big 12 wants adequate representation, and they want a New Year's Six Bowl.
I think they can get it, man. I think they can win it. I do think Colorado can win a Big 12 championship. My problem is the bye week is going to help them, right? Get into the playoff. But my thing is after that, I don't see nobody messing with any of those SEC teams.
The problem with that is for SEC teams. I'm gonna say this: self-destruction is a problem, right? So, and matches. I mean, styles make fights. So, somebody like Ohio State will knock out somebody like Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
You said Ohio State would knock out Texas?
Yeah, like Ohio State will beat Texas. You know what I'm saying?
They probably could, but Texas, it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good fight. I agree with you with that, Solid. I think it'll be a great fight. Now, do I honestly believe that? Like, because Ohio State, right? Texas is well coached. Ohio State played. It seemed like they get off of late starts, right? They get off late start. If you come out on Ohio State and you come out and punch them in the mouth early, you come out on them hot and early, I think that a team can beat Ohio State. I don't see Ohio State being one of those teams that can come back in the game if they're down to a Texas or a Penn State or something like that. I don't see, but we'll see the real test. That's just my opinion, though, with Ohio State. That's just me. So,
Ohio State beat Penn State, though.
But Penn State, what I'm saying is like if they would get out on them, if they just got up on them, like a team like Colorado, right? The way that Colorado plays, right? You know what I mean? They come out hot. If Ohio State run into somebody like that, I don't see them coming back and winning that game. I don't see Ohio State being able to come back on anybody and win. I don't see them being built like that.
This is how bad I think Texas is going to get exposed when they play upper tier talent. If Texas and Indiana play, Indiana will win.
Why don't you believe in your Longhorns, dog?
Because I can look and see, and just the eye test tells you that Texas is not they don't have with the amount of talent they don't have a fluid offense, right? Meaning that I have yet to see Texas have a drive and it just looks straight fluid. Like I haven't seen them.
You don't think they're
97 yards? Yeah, I don't see them going 75 yards, 78 yards.
Okay.
Fluid, 12 plays on adequate talent. Now they might do that against somebody like that's a good example. Oklahoma, or somebody who like Florida, who they have talent, but they don't have the coaching to match the talent. Right. I've watched Texas play guys who have the coaching that matches the talent, and they lose every time.
Right.
So, I feel that if Texas and Indiana played, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's factual. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think Indiana would win is because Texas can't push the ball down the field, and since people know that. Right. And I'm gonna say this, right? The hype with Quinn Ewers has completely died down. No one sees him as a first-round draft pick. People are starting to have the opinion that I had at the beginning of the year, which is this nigga sucks,
I
right?
agree with you. I agree with that. I
And
mean, they don't think he's the you know the best in the SEC, right now. I agree with that. I agree with that.
he
Solid.
he, he he's yeah, he's not even he to me he's not even a pro. Like he's not even an NFL talent. And like he's a Jeff Driscoll. I don't know if you remember that word, Florida quarterback.
Ooh,
Like that
ooh,
he's in that league of talent
he
when it
was.
comes.
Ooh, ooh,
Yes,
he.
that's Quinn Ewers. That's Quinn Ewers. Like the only thing that's keeping Quinn Ewers afloat is because his offensive line and the talent around him is so great that if Steve Sarkisian keeps him out of harm's way, which is he don't expose his flaws. But that guy is bad, bro. And people, and I'm telling you, more and more people are starting to see that Quentin Ewers is that bad. Like
But
he's
what
not
about your
good.
boy Nico and them? Though? What
Nico
about
Imavalo, he's
yeah?
but he's going. That dude's going to be a first round talent. He's just a freshman, a sophomore. He's like Quentin Ewers has literally been in college for 5 years. And people don't remember that he was third on the depth chart at Ohio State. He literally had to transfer out of Ohio State, go to Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Texas was complete dog water, right? And Steve Sarkisian's just been loyal to the effort that Quentin Ewers has put in because they haven't had top tier talent at quarterback position coming in at Texas. They had Charlie, what's his name? Murphy from Duke, but once Arch Manning came there, I mean, nobody's gonna pass the keys to him when you got Arch Manning sitting in the fold. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
let's be real. Like Murphy should have been a starter quarterback at Texas this year. Like, let's be real. Quentin Ewers should have went to the pros last year when his stock was higher, but he chose to come back thinking that he's
He was
like his
going with
game
that.
is going to translate, and it
Mm-hmm.
just hasn't. Like he's bad, and he's just bad. But to pivot to Boise State, I do not believe they are a top 12 team in the country at
You
all.
know what? And I'm faced with this dilemma, right? I'm faced with this dilemma. Speaking on Boise State and these G5 programs, right? All right. So, if Boise State was to lose, do you think we talked about this a little bit on a Saturday morning show, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Boise State loses. I think you got a G5 team has to get in. So now we're looking at the American Athletic Conference, right? The AAC, because they're both ranked teams. According to the rules, the team has to be ranked, I guess, but that they'll be the next one of the Tulane or Army. One of whoever wins the championship out of this G5 program, the American Athletic, because they have the best records right now out of the G5 programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Army, Tulane, and then you got Boise State and Colorado State. They can possibly be playing for the Mountain West Conference Championship, right? If they continue to win, if they win out, this can be the conference. This can be the Mountain West Conference Championship, right? So then
Yeah,
you'll have we'll have a what overall loss. Colorado State, I don't know. They beat Boise State in the Mountain West Championship game. They'll be at the top. And then you'll have a one loss because Tulane they're unreal. Tulane is real good. I don't even know how they lost the 2 games they lost, but they're really, really good. And I think that they can beat Army. And if they and I think that Notre Dame can beat Army. Because let's just be realistic. I don't think that Army is going to beat Notre Dame. That's not going to happen. And then I think they still play the Army and Navy game. They still got that game on a slot too, if I'm not mistaken. I'll pull up the schedule here in a second. But now
first of
we
all,
got you got a multiple loss G5 team going into the college football playoffs rather than letting a 3-loss SEC team into the college football playoff at number 12. Like, see, and it's like, what?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Tulane would beat a lot of teams in Power Four football, right? So I say that to say this, right? When they play in their bowl game, when they play in the championship game, which is I think Conference USA, Tulane will win that game, they're gonna win by double digits. I hope the committee does not keep Boise State in because they have one loss, and that loss came by Oregon 3 points. I hope they look. I hope the eye test applies, right? I hope they really look at this and say Tulane, even with 2 losses, is a better team than Boise State. Like I literally hope they look at that because they are a better team, and they're not even ranked.
I agree. Look, I agree with you. I do think that Tulane is fine. I think that Tulane can hang with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like, but do you really think that Tulane can? Because we already said the top 6 teams in the SEC. I don't care where you going at and what conference, what team. They're dog walking anybody else. Tulane can't see none of them top 6 teams in the SEC. They can't hang close. They can't hang close. I'm just keeping it a buck. They wouldn't. So now we got a multiple loss G. Like once again, we got a multiple loss G5 team getting in at number 12, and not a 3-loss SEC. It's some bull crap to me, and I don't see how. And I don't know. I just wanted to hear other people's opinions on this, whatever else. Like so, and I'm hearing yours right now, but it's just it don't make sense to me, bro. It don't make sense. Could they be in there, or could they very well just be like, look, you know what? We're not even gonna let a G5 program in college football playoff. But according to the rules, the 5th conference champion, it gets in at the 12th seed. That's the rules. The 5th conference champion gets in at the 5th seed, but then we keep overlooking the Pac-12 is still a conference also, right? Even though I don't know if they'll have they probably
Not,
they won't have
not
a conference championship, but there's
Washington State could beat Oregon and they wouldn't get in. Just being honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but now the rule, the way that it's crazy, bro. Like I know that it's a good question because it's like, do you really let a G5 team in? Do they get in according to because it's the 5th conference champion? But who's the 5th conference? What is the 5th conference? That's what's confusing me on the rule with the college football playoff. Because when you're looking at this, who is the 5th conference champion? Who's the 5th conference?
For me, I think it changed because when I read that article, it said the first 4 highest conference champions will get a bye week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was in that previous article. It was the top 5. It was the top 5 highest conference champions will be seeded the highest, right? And the top 4 will be get the first 4 for the first round bye. When I checked it a while ago, right? When we were arguing about it, they took out that 5. It was the top 4 conference champions would get the first 4 bye weeks, and then every other school based off rank would get every other seed.
So we may not even see a G5 according to what you just said. A G5 team may not even be in the college football playoff this year.
And see, that's what I've been trying to get people to understand. Listen, if it comes down to it, Boise State will be the first team out. Well, besides the 4th team in the Big Ten or SEC, right?
Right.
Boise will get eliminated faster if the committee sees. Let's just be honest, okay? Let's say Indiana loses to Ohio State, right? It puts them at 12. I mean, puts them at 13, and there's Boise State, and they don't look convincing. Okay, that's better. Okay, yeah, you got it up, right? Say for instance, right? See, Ole Miss, there's no way they can go to the SEC championship game, right? Let's say SMU beats Miami, right? And Texas A&M beats Texas.
Right.
You don't think they're getting in over Boise State?
Absolutely, I think so. Absolutely.
They're not going to keep a Heisman. Yeah, they're not going to keep a Heisman winner out of the playoffs. Just not happening.
Absolutely.
SMU beat Miami, they get in the playoffs. And they'll be at 12, Miami will be at 11. Or they'll be switched SMU at 11 and SMU at 11 and Miami at 12. They're not going to keep them out of the playoffs. Same thing with Texas A&M. If Texas A&M beats Texas, you think Texas is dropping out of the top 12? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because they play their strength of schedule Their competition is higher than Boise State. Every team's on this top 12 has a higher competition, right, than Boise State. All these teams have a higher strength of schedule than Boise State.
All right, what up? What up, Godfather? What up, Godfather? Cliff in the building. What up?
What's going on? I'm just listening. What's the name controls their own destiny. So if they win out, they go into the SEC championship game, which I didn't even know that until yesterday, and that's Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
So just what Solid was talking about, just say Texas A&M wins out and goes to the championship game.
Uh-huh.
What do you do then? But on the flip side, I hear what Solid is saying, but I just think the committee don't want no ruckus, so they are going to put one G5 team in, which will be it's going to be a toss up between SMU and Boise State.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
SMU ain't G5 though, Cliff. They ain't G5.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So basically, I think SMU might end up winning. They in the ACC, right? Yeah. I think they might end up winning that conference. So I'm figuring that they probably will put Boise in. Now, even with Miami, if Miami lose 2 games, good. No, I don't think they'll be out.
I'm gonna say this.
I just think they don't want no ruckus. So, like, Boise will remain the 12 seed. Only thing I think that'll change is Notre Dame would probably end up. They went out. They'll probably end up hosting that home game. They will be the 5th seed because they can't go no higher anyway.
Okay, let me ask you this: if Texas A&M beats Texas last week of the season, which I think is going to happen, who's number 12?
Who's gonna what?
Who's gonna be number 12? If let's say Texas falls to, because they're like what, number 5? Let's say they fall to 10, right? Texas A&M beats Texas. Who's at 12? Let's be real now. Let's keep it a bean. Who's at 12?
Oh well, Trucking took the what's the name down, so I can't remember
I'll put it back up for you. There you go.
Let's look at that. If Texas A&M beats Texas and Texas falls to 10, what does that put A&M? Everybody else wins out though. Let's say everything else stays.
Okay, well, see, even with Texas A&M playing Texas the last game of the year, Texas A&M still got to win, but whoever they played before Texas.
Yeah, that's what I say. Let's say everything stays the same. Texas loses to A&M last week of the season. Mm-hmm. Who's out?
Who's out of the playoff?
Yeah, who's out of the playoffs? If everybody wins out, 11-1, and Texas A&M beats Texas, who's out? Let's be real.
Well, 11-1, that means everybody won't win out.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody wins except for Texas. Who's out?
Who's out? Who they knocking out?
Finish their season the way they're supposed to, as winning, right? Who's out?
At that point, you can't. At that point, look, bro, you can't knock nobody out, bro.
You can't knock nobody out.
You can't knock nobody out.
Indiana finishes with 1 loss. Let's say they finish with 1 loss.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They're number 5 though. They're not going to drop all the way to 12.
But that's what Cliff is saying though.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Boise is still 12.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, Cliff. Even if Indiana loses to Ohio State and wins the rest of their games, that leaves them 11-1. They're not falling out of the top 12. Not to the number 2 team. You said this. Not to the number 2 team in the country. Now I said they was. You said they were.
Nah, they not. I don't think you can knock Indiana out of the playoff at this point, man. The schedule
if Texas loses to Texas A&M, you gonna drop number 3 team out of the top 12?
So Solid. Well, I agree with what you're saying. It's gonna stay the same.
No, Texas A&M gonna jump Boise.
You think Texas A&M gonna jump Boise?
If they beat Texas, they will jump Boise.
Not if Boise. So this is the dilemma to me, right? Because if Boise loses the If they win their conference championship at this point, Boise is a for sure lock at 12, even if Texas A&M beats Texas. If Boise, for some reason, fumbles the bag and loses the Mountain West to Colorado State, then I think you got to look at the American Athletic Conference, because a G5 program has to be in at the 12th seed. They have that. They switched the rules. They switched the rules. You did say that. You did say that. My fault. You did say that, Solid. You did say that they switched the rules, right?
Yeah, they ain't no rules saying what it said was the top 5 highest conference champions will be in it. That's what the beginning that video they showed at the beginning of the year with Kirk Herbstreit and everything like that.
Yeah.
If you go on NCAA.com right now, they took that out. They took that 5 highest conference shit out. That shit says top 4 highest conference winners will get a bye week, and everything else will be ranked subsequently by order. That's exactly what it said.
Well, if Texas A&M beat Texas, Boise gonna drop out of that 12th seed.
But see, this, you know what? I just thought about it, and we overglossing it. So say Texas A&M does make it to the SEC championship game. I think they have to win it. I don't think a 3-loss SEC a 3-loss SEC team is getting in.
That's crazy.
But they got 2 conference losses.
You know what? And that's crazy.
I think the leaders of the division
now,
right there. Yeah, the leaders of the division right now is Georgia and Texas.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me though too. That's another question I had though right there. What you just said though, Cliff, because a 3-loss SEC team
number 2.
Who could be like, so this the top 6, man. Any Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Texas will whoop the dog crap out of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but see, this is one thing that I think we glossing over. We glossing over the reason why they're having this 12-team playoff. Yeah, they say the best teams in the country, but believe me, they go give Boise. If Boise finishes out, Boise is gonna be the 12th seed. It's just who they go draw as far as where they going to play at. Whoever's gonna get that 5th seed, whether it's gonna be Notre Dame, because they are not gonna let a 3-loss SEC team in the playoffs.
If it's so if that 3rd team, let's say, is Alabama,
they're not gonna let them in. And I mean, they proved that. You know what I'm saying? Last year with Georgia losing in the SEC championship game.
What they're gonna say is that and this is what I want you to understand. They're gonna say if Alabama, let me take a step back. They're gonna say this: if Boise State had Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, or Tennessee's record, they're gonna be they're lying to be 500. That's what they're gonna say. I'm sorry to tell you that, Cliff. They've said it before.
You said what?
If Boise State had Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, or Tennessee's record, they'll be 500.
See, they ain't.
You're not talking about Notre Dame or Penn State or Indiana, who is a Big Ten affiliate. I'm talking about a group of 5 school in the SEC, Boise State. They would be 500 if they had those.
Yeah, I mean that's already taken into consideration about they not even looking at it basically that way of them being in the SEC. What I'm saying is this: they don't feel like. I mean, but this is my thing. They're gonna feel like this to a certain extent. I'm not saying all the way, but they're gonna say, okay, this playoff was made for one of these schools, like a Boise or whatever, that wins their conference to get in as the lowest seed.
That's not what it was created for, though. Who says that? Who keeps? Let me ask you this question.
Because all I'm saying is this: just because the SEC has the tougher conference, which everybody knows, they're not going to put in a 3-loss team just over a 1-loss team of Boise. It's not going to happen, and they done already stated that. The commissioner came on and already said they're not going to do that.
I have a question. Then why does the Big Ten have 4 teams?
They don't have nobody with 3 losses.
If what I'm saying is this is what I'm saying, right? None of them teams play each other at the end of the year. None of them, except the SEC championship game. And I guarantee you that a team who made it to the SEC championship game is going to get in before a team who didn't make the SEC championship game.
No, this is what I'm telling you though, Solid. It's gonna be either a 1-loss SEC or a 2-loss SEC.
Okay, Cliff.
If that SEC team,
that literally don't make sense, fam.
No, what I'm talking about in a championship game, because is anybody in the SEC undefeated?
So Cliff, one team like Texas may go with 1 loss, but there's like a 95% chance that anybody who plays in the SEC championship game is going to have 2 losses.
Not, I mean, only other not necessarily. How are you saying that? If Tennessee or Alabama, no, listen. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Texas and Texas A&M have to play. Right?
Somebody got to lose.
Somebody has to lose. So that puts them automatically at 2 losses.
Right.
So there's a 90% chance that somebody with 2 losses will be in the championship game.
Okay, and then like I said, if it's 2 teams in a championship game with 2 losses, whoever loses that game will not go into the playoff.
And this is what I'm trying to get you to understand, Cliff. If Georgia and Texas play in the SEC championship game, and let's say Georgia beats Texas, gives them 2 losses, right?
If they lost to A&M, assuming they lose to A&M, right?
Yeah, and if they lost to A&M, who puts them at 3 losses, Texas will be in there.
I mean, well, that might be, but what the commissioner said is, you know what I'm saying? If you lose 3 on a 90% chance, you're not getting in, because that question was already asked.
That's crazy to me. That's sad, and that's why. And this is why.
Because this is what people don't even understand. And see, that's why I say we can't assume anything. All scenarios are possible, because last year everybody thought that Georgia was getting in. Even if let me finish. Even though it was 4, you cannot tell me that Georgia wasn't the 5 or 6 best teams in America just losing to Alabama in the SEC championship game. You cannot tell me that.
It's an entire difference.
No, see, y'all thinking about the number. No,
there's a big difference from 12.
See, that's the mistake you making. Just because it's more slots, no, that has nothing to do with it.
Why do they have 4 Big Ten teams? You're literally missing over.
What you mean? Why? Because you're gonna have 4 Big Ten teams. Either 2 of those are only gonna have 1 loss, and the other's gonna have 2. No one is gonna have 3. That's what I'm telling you.
What I'm saying is, you're saying, right, and this is what I'm trying to get you to understand, right?
The rule didn't change, though, bro.
If it's based off who is the best teams, right? And we just said that nobody's top 6 can beat the SEC's top 6.
But it's not. Right? It's not about the best teams, though. See, that's why y'all. Everyone gets it mixed up and says it's about. I don't. This is my thing. We all sit up in here and we do this every year. Best teams. And like I go back, just because it's 12, you can still use last year as an example. When they left Georgia, we all understand why they left Florida State.
You have a great argument. I feel what you're saying, Cliff. You had that. I feel what both y'all, where both y'all coming from, Cliff.
Georgia was never the top.
Cliff has a great point of what he's saying. Based off of what they showed us last year, pretty much they won't let it happen, even though it's 12. But I understand where you coming from too, also, because I believe that's the reason why they put 12 teams in there. So a team that will lose the conference champion that deserves to be in the playoffs, like a Georgia, will be in the playoffs. I see where you coming from too, though.
Thank you.
So that's exactly I feel where both y'all coming from on this. I think that's what
that's what I'm saying. We can go with a lot of scenarios because they've showed us. Just because it's moved to 12 teams, they showed us over years and years and years of this. Even when we had the BCS, even when we had undefeated teams. That's why you got certain teams that didn't play in the championship game that went undefeated, said they were national champions. All the time.
You're literally making my point for me.
No, but see, what you're saying is you're comparing SEC as being a better team. I'm saying to you, they don't always choose. They don't always go by who's the best teams.
Cliff.
No, that's what it's saying right here, y'all. The four highest ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4 and will receive the first round bye. The fifth conference champion will be seeded where it was ranked or at number 12.
And read that again. The what conference champion? The fifth. So who's the fifth conference champion? Who would be the fifth conference champion? That would be Boise. So they've already got the 12th seed.
But Cliff, this is that was my question, Cliff. If Boise, right, did not win, if Boise does not win out, right? I don't know, right? The fifth conference champion that goes to the American Athletic Conference, then, right? As the G5 program, right?
Right. So I don't know if they
got a Tulane or Army.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that's my scenario where I'm going, because right now you got Colorado State with 3 losses, but they're playing damn good football, to be honest, in the Mountain West Conference right now. They're right on Boise's tail. Here, I'll pull it up right now for you.
Right, yeah, I saw that earlier. They put it up on the news feed. Yeah,
they're right on Boise's tail.
Because they got votes. Who else? Who was the other team that got votes? What's the name that won yesterday? Arizona State. It was a couple of teams with 1 or I think 2 losses that got votes to get that last spot in case that Boise loses.
Okay.
See, Boise controls their own destiny. What we really should be looking at right now is who the rest of these teams have to play in these last 2 games. So we know Alabama and Auburn, which is the Iron Bowl, which is a rivalry. You throw records out. You don't know what can happen in that game.
Okay.
You've got I think, who does Tennessee play? Don't they have a rivalry coming up? Mm-hmm. Or they done already played their rivalry?
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up right now for you. I got their last couple games is UTEP and Vanderbilt.
Okay,
Tennessee.
so but you got Georgia and Georgia Tech, which is not going to be easy because Georgia I think they either have to go to Georgia Tech at the end of the year. I think that's it, because I think you know what I'm saying. You got Ole Miss, I think, in Mississippi State. I think that's still a rivalry, or did they play already?
No, they got it. They playing Mississippi State,
right?
And they got Florida. They got on the bye week next week, and then they got Florida after the bye week, and then they got Mississippi State to finish off the season.
Right. And Florida's playing well, so we got to take into consideration one of these two lost teams might lose even before we get to the playoff, so they automatically out.
See, that's where I'm getting at. Like,
what's going to make it tough? Where I agree with you, solid, 100%, because I think we on the same page. We just looking at it. You're right. In the different, we will have a problem then And I agree with you. If everybody wins out, because in my eyes, I agree with you. Let's just say Texas A&M runs the table and goes, and even though they do lose in the championship game, let's just say by a field goal. That means to me, Texas A&M is good enough to get in.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right. So then I agree with you. Do you since Texas and A&M lost that, do you make them the 12 seed and Boise gets left out?
To me, I just don't think they don't have the strength of schedule to get voted in. So
I would hate to be on the committee right now. I would hate to be on the playoff committee right now. I would hate to be on the playoff committee right now. And this is exactly why I would love to challenge my fellow content creators, and we need to start pushing for a G5 playoff bracket. They need to have their own 12-team playoff bracket. They do.
Oh, you know what?
The thing is, I don't even think they think people wouldn't watch that. I think that people would watch that. Would you watch it? Would you watch the G5 playoff bracket?
Hell yeah, trucking. That's a great idea, bro.
I think a lot of other people will watch it too. I think there's a lot of people, college football fans, that would watch a 12-team G5 playoff bracket. I think that'd be crazy. It'd be. Look, you seeing the best 12 G5 teams face each other for the playoffs in bowl games. Then it makes the bowl games more meaningful once again. So now you don't got to add on to the college football playoff by adding 2 more teams, because eventually they're going to want to add 16 teams. Just keep it 12 and just add G5. Just add 12 G5. So now we got 24 just in 2 different brackets, but now you got 24 bowl games that actually means something, and that's actually bringing in revenue. Like, I don't see how they don't see that. Like, I'm not even, you know what I mean? I don't know how they don't see it. Like, they're gonna get it. People gonna watch those games, because then you're gonna get teams creeping up in there like North Dakota State, South Dakota State, North Texas. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get Montana. You gonna get come on. You gonna get a lot of.
You know, trucking, they already got their own playoffs.
Okay. Group of 5 is Mid-Atlantic Conference, American Athletic Conference, the Sun Belt, the Mountain West. Those are all your
the MAC. The MAC. Sun Belt.
Those are all your.
According to the way that they run it, though, right? Like, I don't know, just for shits and giggles, the way that they run this one, they let, and the 12th seed they let in, but no, just keep it just all G5. Y'all right? Just keep it all G5, right? Keep it all G5, man. Just you know what I'm saying? Let's just go with the Sun Belt, the Mountain West, the MAC, the American Athletic Conference, and let them have their own 12-team playoff, bro. Like, because this right here, we getting great football because of it. Number one, you know what I'm saying. Number two, everybody's going to watch it, and you're not going to not watch the playoff bracket, because everybody's going to be playing their heart out, and we wouldn't be stuck with a dilemma like this. You know what I'm saying? A 3-loss team from either side would be able to sneak in and get that 12th seed. You know what I mean?
Because now
we was gonna have this problem. There's people going to be arguing, and fans are going to be upset
that Boise didn't get in, right? If that's the case, right? If Boise runs the table, you go have Boise fans and stuff, and regular people, even columnists talking about Boise only lost 1 game. Why they not getting in? And then people go start calling it bias again.
Well, we gonna know, but then, you know, real football fans will just know straight up that Boise can't see nobody that's in the college football playoff. You could make that argument, but I mean, them hanging with Oregon the way that they hung with Oregon, I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they will be in the Pac-12 next year. But I think that's why they're trying to reform the Pac-12 right now, is because of that, you know.
Right.
So,
yeah,
man, it'd be crazy, man. And we just got some good football going on. Just a lot of good questions I had, and I think y'all helped me answer them, man. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy scenarios that I had going on in my mind, like just floating around, like, because I don't know, I get to thinking like that about football. You know, it's exciting, and I get to thinking like that. My mind be everywhere, like, man, like a 3-loss SEC team, like, I still would think that would just mow over a lot of teams in college football right now. Like, and
And then,
just go
and then
ahead, go
I,
ahead.
I,
Go ahead, Chris.
I think another thing we got to realize is we can't be too sure because a lot of people not high on the Big 12 at all.
Mm, mm.
We really can't be confident that even one of those might get left out.
Nah, you got to put one of them in there.
I'm just saying, what if? Okay, just say what if BYU loses again? And just for peace sake, and I'm not hating, so whoever listening that's a Colorado fan, stop. What if Colorado lose to Kansas? You know what I'm saying? Or whoever they play at the end of the year. What if they lose before they get to the championship game? If they go, what if they got 3 losses?
Then Arizona State go.
Yeah, Arizona State.
Right, but see, okay, let's say Arizona State and BYU still playing the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would have a 1-loss team because a 2-loss team from the Big 12 possibly, because the loser of that game would have 3 losses. Big 12 for sure. If you got 3 losses, you're not going.
But the only thing about that is, then the Big 12 wouldn't get the bye week. It would be Boise State.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, no, can Boise State get the bye solid?
Yeah, because they'll be the top. They'll be the highest ranked. I mean, the 4th highest ranked conference
champion.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So then that just wind up skating in there at the 12th
So that means. So they would play whoever get the 5th seed, which everybody is banking. If Notre Dame went out and somebody else lose, because all Notre Dame do real is projected that they may be 6 now. So if they move up 1, they guaranteed a home game. Wow, that would be crazy. The Big 12, the Big 12 winner traveling to Notre Dame.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. Do y'all think so? There's another question I got for y'all. Do y'all think we're gonna get some good football in the college football playoffs, or are we gonna get some blowouts?
Some of them gonna be blowouts. I like because a lot of those teams are not as strong as we think they are, right? So for me, 2 teams I expect to get blown out is Texas and Penn State. So whoever they play, I hope. And you know what's crazy? I hope SMU plays Penn State in the playoffs, and Tulane plays Texas in the playoffs.
Ooh, solid. Oh, you calling some good matchups, bro?
They are going to expose both those programs. Hands down, it ain't even a question. Oh, SMU Penn State might be a little closer score than what it looked like.
Y'all about to hate what I'm about to say, but I don't think nobody. Colorado looks scary too right now, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
I think Colorado can beat Ohio State.
They look crazy right now. Colorado looks scary right now, bro. Yeah. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I don't think I want to see them. They have gotten better every single game. That team, and the crazy thing is I don't even think they played their best game. They finally got a kickoff, a punt return this week, but bro, I don't know, man. They getting better every single week, bro. It's just like that. The defense is finally clicking. They little offensive schemes. That offensive line still is iffy. It's still
now
iffy.
That's what has me. That's what has me really excited about Colorado. Is me looking at their defense. Mm-hmm. When I say, when I say they've come a long way with the improvement, especially in the run game. Yeah, and it's helping on the back end because they're really starting to get pressure now. They can travel with that defense. Mm-hmm. 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 And I know people go say, man, other people that, man, you crazy, dog. They ain't play. Listen, we talked about this the other day, me, Solid, and General Vic. I asked the question, what always travels with a team that can win? And that's defense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they got it. Right. And with having Shedeur and Travis, hey, anything is possible when you got 2 two Heisman candidates on the same team.
Man, I wish Al Farouk would let me play his video, man. I ain't talked to Al Farouk in a minute though. I got a number. I gotta hit him up, but I want more people to go check out the Back of the Bus YouTube channel, man. He made a video at the beginning of this year that explained exactly why Colorado would be where they're at right now, the beginning of this year. Like he broke it down into the history of college football, into why if you got two Heisman candidates on the same team has not been done since Reggie Bush and who was the quarterback? Was it Leinart?
Matt Leinart, yeah.
Matt Leinart, and that USC team was so fire, and that when you got the number of people who are looked at to be scouts by the NFL on that team at Colorado, that Colorado should absolutely, there's no reason why those coaches can't get that team to run the table the way they are now. And now those coaches got that team clicking the way it's going. It's exactly the way that he said it would be going. And it's crazy that that I don't want to play it because I haven't talked to him, you know what I'm saying, and just assume that he'll let me use it. You feel what I'm saying? But still though, like, shout out to Al Farouk for that, man. In the Back of the Bus gang, man. Y'all go check that out. It's Back of the Bus. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go check that video out. Go look through the archives because it's there. And he explains everything about why Colorado is at where they're at right now in the history of it. It's a dope video. It's very informational. And so forth and so on that. But yeah, he called that at the beginning of the year. So I got to, give him his flowers on that. Cause I was looking at, I remember watching it at the beginning of this year. And then I talked to him about the video and everything, but it's exactly the way it said it. And he even put in there like what Colorado needs to do in order to get that team clicking. It's crazy. It's just like, it's like he's an oracle or something. I ain't trying to put to be, you know what I mean? All, you know what I'm saying? Pause, dick riding or nothing like that, but it is what it is. Okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is though, straight up. Like
I understand what you're saying, bro. Yeah.
He put the game down. He put it all out there for everybody to consume. And I hope that people actually watch that. And some people might look at it like he was hating, but he actually wasn't. He was just like, there's no reason why this coaching staff should not have this team playing at a very high level. Like, it's crazy. Like, almost like he wanted to go and coach that damn team. Like, man, you let me coach that team. Watch what happened. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, though. But yeah, man, the scenarios, man, for college football, man, it's going crazy, bro. It's about to be wild.
See, here's the thing about Colorado, right? How far they goes on Shedeur, right? Also, I think the Kansas State game taught Robert Livingston a lesson, which is Coach Prime is not going to allow him complete autonomy of who's playing on, because he's going to have Shiloh in him. So what he has done is he's hidden Shiloh to the point where he's no longer a hindrance on the team. Every now and then we'll look and be like, come on, bro. Like, why? Like, come on, bro. What are you doing? But how many times we're saying that and being able to see it has died down because their defensive front has gotten home so quickly. Because Dion Lewis, what's his name, right? Dion Lewis or Dion Branch? Dion Lewis has taught his defensive line because of that, how weak the secondary, the safety positions are. We have to stop the run in order to hunt. So they're stopping the run, which allows them to then in return hunt, which then in returns takes away the pressure from the back end of the defense. And who I kind of relate that to is the New York Giants in 2012 when they had Antron Roll and I can't think of
dang, young boy from Michigan, right?
He's from Texas. Antron Roll and
Dang, I just missed it. They just rolled the AP poll across, and I just missed it on
It was Corey Webster, Kenny Phillips, Antron Roll, and somebody else. I forgot who the four. But the two safeties were our worst positions on the football field, right? Our defensive front controlled the run, which allowed OC Umenyiora, Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, Kenny, what's his name? Linville Joseph, what's his name? Marcus Canty. They allowed them to hunt on the defensive front. So this team is a defensively wise, maybe not scheme wise, but defensively wise from the eye test, they fit that same caliber, which is they stop the run, which then allows them to hunt the pass rusher. Because what they had like 6 sacks yesterday or something, some shit like that, some weird ass.
Man.
So it's like, that's how they're able to do that. And what he's able to done is he's taken a linebacker off the field, which is Bentley, right? And then ran quarters, slid Shiloh down to linebacker, and had Stoppmeyer and Silman Craig and Colton Hood and Preston Hodge and DJ McKinney and Travis Hunter on the football field. Sometimes they've ran dime just to hide Shiloh in coverage. Like, people don't realize that, bro. People are not looking at that. Like, Carter Stoppmeyer had one of the best Pro Football Focus grades on that defense yesterday. Do people realize that? I think he was number 2, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was number 2.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't recognize that. That's a good point that you just brought up. Go ahead. Because I didn't recognize that.
He's not a starter, and that's what people aren't really taking into consideration when it comes to how smart they're playing this defense. This is why I say it's all on Shedeur. Shedeur has thrown 4 interceptions.
Offensive line too, if you ask me. I think they hired some of the talent.
Yeah, but to me, Chuckin, this year in itself, offenses have been horribly bad. Right? Matter of fact, it's at a historical low when it comes to offensive proficiency. That being said, Shedeur has thrown 4 interceptions, 3 of them been the first play of the game. That cannot happen in the playoffs.
No.
With better teams, like Cliff says, with better teams, they're going to do things a little bit different. You throw an interception against, let's just put CU against Texas A&M. They're going to be Ole Miss. They're going to be playing from behind the whole game. 1, because you're not going to get ball at halftime, and 2, right, more likely they're going to put up some points on you. So you're going to be playing from behind the whole game. We cannot do that. They play Notre Dame. We can't do that. Playing the number 4 ranked defense in the country. They're not going to allow you you're not going to throw an interception and then be able to blow somebody out by 25 points.
This was released today, by the way, y'all. This was just released today. This is the new AP poll. This is not old. This is up to date right now. APnews.com. Shout out to them. This is definitely the rankings right there, but I ain't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, man. Just want to let everybody know that.
Now, Solid need to be in that committee room, because I think Solid, he done had a couple of good matchups I'm listening to for that playoff that really be exciting.
Yeah, I want SMU to play Penn State. I don't think it'll be a blowout by the scoreboard, but they'll handily win that game, and they'll expose Penn State for what they are. I hate Penn State. Penn State to me is LSU. Penn State to me is LSU, right? Bro, you got all this history. As a matter of fact, that's disrespectful. I'm not even going to say LSU. Penn State to me, bro, is Florida. No, they got championships.
No,
Penn State to me, honestly, is Ole Miss. That's what that is, bro. That's what that is. Ole Miss. You got all this talent. You got the Mississippi Cornbread Boys. You got all that, and you still can't win. Penn State is a horrible college program, bro.
We'll see what they do this year, man.
Like, for the life of me, Cliff, I think Notre Dame should have more respect in college football than Penn State.
I think they do.
They do, but see, I think, you know what? Solid, I think really what's hurting them and is still lingering and people trying to forget about it is the Sandusky scandal.
Yeah, man.
it's still lingering, and they still
I don't even care about that. I'm saying,
how you gotta care about that? I mean, I think I made them thinking like, what kind of dude is out there raising a son, and you got your son over there giving up a booty hole to play on the football field? Like, who kind of man? Like, I know it ain't got nothing to do with it, y'all. I don't know, man. Let me stop.
I'm talking about football. I'm saying from a football standpoint, Notre Dame should get more respect from college football committees, media, everything over Penn State. At least Notre Dame has been to what, 2 national championship games in the last 10 years? Last 12 years?
But you know what, though? Notre Dame is it's crazy because I don't know, maybe down there it's not, but I know up here where we at, where me and Cliff at, where Cliff is at, and then across all the way to the east, Notre Dame got that respect, believe it or not, especially around this area. It's a high Catholic church area over here, so a lot of people wear Notre Dame memorabilia around this way. A lot of, there's a lot of Catholic churches up this way, so a lot of people want to go to Notre Dame and send their kids to Notre Dame. So in the South, they maybe don't have that as much, you know what I'm saying? Because I think it's the culture. It's different down South. You know what I mean? Down there, it's different to you. So the way you're seeing it is different than what we're seeing it, if that makes sense.
Right. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, okay, year in and year out, Penn State is considered a top 10 team in college football. They're not. Never have been. Never will be. They're not. Like right now, Penn State is not a top 10 team. Georgia beat the brakes off Penn State. Notre Dame will beat Penn State. Miami will beat Penn State. Why do we rank them? Alabama beat Penn State. Tennessee will beat Penn State. All of them will beat Penn State
because they are in the Big Ten, man, and they be in the Big Ten.
No, I'm gonna tell you why, and I hear what Solid is saying, but the reason why they get so much credence is before they joined the Big Ten, they had a mystique. They produced Hall of Famers. They were winning. You know what I'm saying? And they're considered one of the blue bloods. So
why? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's off reputation, Solid, and I get what you're saying. Like, man, why? Because for the last 30 years, you all haven't played for anything.
Nothing.
I gotta remember how many top level NFL talent that are successful in the NFL come out of Penn State, though.
But
yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
That's what we're saying. Like, it does not make sense for them to get they get more respect by the committee, right, than LSU. They get more respect by the committee than Notre Dame. They get more respect for no reason. Absolutely none. None. They've done nothing. If you could, they haven't, honestly speaking, they haven't even played in the playoffs yet. And it's been
sure haven't.
10 years. Why do we give them credit?
They always
and Notre Dame been there twice, and Penn State ain't been there at all.
Why do we give them credit? That's all I'm saying. What reason? If anybody can give me a reason why Penn State is respected by football committees, personnel, media, the world, why? They've done the same thing in South Carolina.
I'm finna show you why Penn State is so highly respected, man. Where is it at, man? I'm gonna go to their school history. I'm gonna pull up their school history record for you, bro. This is why, bro. I think this has got a lot of reason to do with it. So we go back to 2005, 11-1, 9-4, 9-4, 11-2, 11-2. 7-6, 9-4, 8-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-6, 11-3, 11-2. When their last losing season technically was COVID year. COVID year 2020 was the Penn State's last losing season. But no, I'm lying. Before that, it was 2004. 2004, from 2000 to 2004, Penn State was absolutely garbage. Joe Petrino was absolutely Horrible.
Let's go to the first year of the playoffs. Let's look at the first year of the playoffs, 2013.
2013.
Let's go to the playoffs.
Okay.
Let's go from there because that's to me that's what's important.
Okay.
Because you shouldn't. We ain't gonna even look at before most people started watching football.
All right. All right.
Let's
So
look at
2013.
Yeah, let's go up.
Yeah. 7-5, 7-6, 7-6, 11-3, 11-2, 9-4, 11-2. COVID year went 4-5, 7-6, 11-2, 10-3, and then they're 9-1 right now.
Now, can you explain to me and show me why they get more respect than Notre Dame?
I have no, bro. You know what, bro? If like I said, up this area, bro. When you talk about from the committee, as far as the committee is talking about, man, I can't tell you why the committee think the way the committee thinks.
I mean, to me, no, to me, I think it's kind of the same from the committee with Penn State and Notre Dame. Sometimes I think it's from year to year, depending on how the team is doing, how they really rank them to. Because the crazy thing that I always tell people is this. A lot of people know Penn State from the Big Ten. My thing was, you got to understand, a lot of teams that were winning, like the Miamis that have joined, they were independent. Florida State was independent. Penn State was independent. And back in the day, you had more independent teams that were winning championships than you did most of these conference teams. Now, true, you had your Oklahomas here and there, you had your Nebraskas, but independently, what made them so unique while they were independent, they went all over to recruit.
Yeah. Before
it became what it's really become. Because like Nebraska, they stayed in Nebraska basically. They got their horses, the big guys from Nebraska. Now, some of their skill positions, yeah, you probably got somebody from California or Florida, you know what I'm saying, a running back or something like that. You might have got you a quarterback from Jersey. Mm-hmm. But on the all in all, most of your team was homebound. The rest of these teams, like Notre Dame, they from Indiana. They recruit. They got to fight every school for recruiting. Well, because they recruit all over. It's really not a deep pipeline in Indiana.
Right. Well, Penn State. Well,
so I hear what you're saying. Go ahead, Trucker.
Penn State. The reason why Penn State is so highly respected and just around is because, to me, like I said it earlier, I'll say it again, is because of the talent they produce. That program over there produces a lot of high-level NFL talent. They're in the number. They're in the 20. They're like amongst the top 20 programs in the whole entire country of college football that produce NFL talent, bro. Some of the highest talent out there. It says 389 players selected which is the 7th highest amongst Division I schools.
Yeah.
You got Michael Parsons, Saquon Barkley. He's tearing the NFL up right now. Jahan Dotson playing for the Eagles right now. Who else? I just said Barkley. Oweh, he played for the Baltimore Ravens out of the 2021 draft. I said Michael Parsons, he's still tearing shit up right now. Mike is sexy. Ryan Bates. The list goes on and on. Even before then, that's why they're at where they're at right now, bro. It's because because of winning shit. It's because a lot of players that come out of Penn State are NFL ready for the next level. You're getting what you need to go to the next level at a Penn State. That's why it is what it is right there. You know what I'm saying? And to sum it all up. And that's what matters, I think, to answer your question a little bit, Solid. But I feel where you're coming from as far as winning. Why would you, know what I'm saying, want to go there? You want to go to Penn State because Penn State has the readiness to get you ready for the NFL, like schools like Alabama, Georgia, Penn State, Michigan. Michigan used to be there. They still should be. I don't know the way they looking right now.
Yeah, they still there.
You know what I'm saying?
Michigan,
Like,
Ohio State, Notre Dame. It's like Penn State. I don't know how true it is, but not too many people that come out of there are busts.
right.
I mean, you can go as far back as the Hall of Famer Franco Harris. You know, you had Matt Suey. You know what I'm saying? Even oh God, I can't even think of the quarterback's name that beat Miami in the national championship game in '87. Saka. He even had a productive career. Kerry Collins, Kajana Carter was doing good before he blew out his knee. I mean, you just had LeVar Arrington. You've had so many people come out of Penn State and have at least played 5 years in the NFL. And can't too many colleges say constantly, year after year, 3 or 4 players that get drafted plays in the NFL past that time. Because most people, hey, they out of the NFL. That's what it stands for, not for long.
That's a right. That's a fact. You know what I mean? I forgot Chop Robinson. Look,
Yeah.
look. Who from Penn State played for the Giants that you could think of? Solid. Who played for the Giants from Penn State?
Saquon Barkley. I mean, I really don't know. I gotta go look.
The tight end, Theo Johnson, Olu Fashanu, Saquon, Brandon Smith, Pat Firemove, Joey Porter Jr., Jair Brown, Kevin Givens. This is just in the last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, like Chris Godwin with the Buccaneers. Like, who else? Allen Robinson. Then Allen Robinson played for them too, I think. KJ Hamler with the Bills.
Yeah, I think so.
Jaquan Jones. Bro, there's a huge list of players, bro, that came out of Penn State, bro, that go to the NFL and that actually make a difference on a NFL roster team. Even people that they come out of, they like, I gotta get a Penn State player. I gotta at least get one. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's around the NFL. They get around. So they're one of them schools that's known for producing talent, man. Like, even if they don't win, like, they're one of them schools. And shout out to North Dakota State and South Dakota State, because right now they're one of them schools that's an NFL pipeline too. Like, don't get it twisted. They guys are looking at them too. Shit, I know we grabbed the offensive lineman from South Dakota State. Steelers did. I know my Steelers did. We grabbed them up real quick. And what's his name? He playing for the Cardinals right now on the tight end. He's one of the best tight ends in the league. He went to North Dakota State. What's his name, man? Help me out here. Damn, how I forget old boy's name. The tight end for the Cardinals that what's it called be throwing to all crazy.
I don't really know rosters like that in the NFL.
Kyler Murray man, bro. It's his biggest target, bro. It's his favorite target, bro. Look, I'm trying to think of dude's name. He came out of North Dakota State though. That's all I'm saying though. Like, so you know, they producing talent and shit, man. I don't know how. I wonder what's going on with the quarterback. What's his name? Trey Lance. What's going on with Trey Lance? Why he ain't stepped up like yet? Why the Cowboys ain't put him on the field? I think they started him way too early. But
the problem with Trey Lance is he can't read a defense. He can't read a defense for no, like, okay, I'm not a quarterback. I don't know how hard it is to read a defense, right? So I don't want to call him stupid or anything like that.
ain't easy.
But when you get to that level, there's a certain expectation of being a professional, being an athlete, saying you play the position, right? He hasn't performed adequately for coaches and staffs and organizations to warrant why he hasn't played yet. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's going to be out of the league. He's going to be coaching at somebody's high school, you know, probably going back into college ranks, but he just doesn't have it. And sometimes people need to understand that there's nothing wrong with that. He still accomplished something that 0.01 people in this world would never accomplish, which is get drafted by an NFL franchise in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Trey McBride is his name. Trey McBride.
And walk across that stage and be handed a jersey by Roger Goodell. Only 32 people get that done. Now, I don't even think it's 32. I think it's like the first. Is it 32 that get handed a jersey? I don't know. But only certain men have been able to do that So I want to give kudos to him. But outside of that, he's done nothing for a franchise to say, man, we're gonna give you the keys to the franchise. Absolutely nothing. Like Anthony Richardson will be like that pretty soon.
I think he should have just, man. Trey Lance went to the bad. He went to a bad organization, man. Like he should have, like they should have kept him in San Francisco in that system and just trained him up. Man. They should have, you know what I'm saying? Because like going to Dallas, man. Like I mean, trying to keep him under Dak Prescott. I mean, you gotta train these guys too, man. And there's a lot of guys that's gonna get exposed when they go to the NFL because Anthony Richardson, for example, he wasn't good on the Florida for real. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys don't have it and they're not being trained properly. I think that's another conversation for another day. These quarterbacks not being trained properly going to the NFL. Like it starts, I believe that starts at a very young at a young level. Like y'all can say what y'all want, but you know, shout out to all my Pee-wee football coaches because I think it starts at that level, that 7-on-7 era. Like you got to get them out of that 7-on-7 era, that taking, you know what I mean? Got to get them out of that, man. They don't know how to take a snap under center. A lot of guys don't because they ain't did it since, you know, since they was 13 or 14 years old. That's a big problem. That's largely the reason why Justin Fields isn't starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now is because he had problems taking snaps from under center, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? But that's not his fault. He's just not used to doing that. And it starts at a young level to get these guys ready, and they're not being prepared because what do we see when we're a coach? We see a kid that could throw a football and he got some speed, and we like, oh yeah, he my quarterback. Come on. And you ain't putting no training into that young man. You ain't, and that's a coaching thing, man. That goes on a lot of these coaches, man. And then I can't even, and I really don't want to put it on the coaches because do they really got the time to do that? And with the way that the NIL is going on, you gotta lock down this quarterback, but then I gotta go talk to this quarterback, but then I got a quarterback that I gotta train, but you know what I mean? He may not be staying because the NIL money ain't there, so now I gotta try to find NIL money for him, and you know what I'm saying? It's just an ongoing cycle, like. You gotta want to get better yourself, and that's why I look at quarterbacks like Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Kyron Drones, you know, out there with a quarterback coach and putting in the extra work to get to be better and become better. Like because I think that's something you have to do on your own nowadays. Like you really got to go out there and want it, especially when you get in that college level. Like and some guys just skate by with just pure talent, especially at the college level. All you got to do is just be able to throw a ball. And if you could run in college in a dual threat shit, you damn near good. You know what I'm saying? And then you get exposed at the level where you playing chess, playing checkers, you ain't exposed. But when you start playing chess in the NFL, motherfuckers start getting exposed on the field. Because now you got to read a defense. You got to know how to identify the mic. Some of them quarterbacks out there don't even know what the mic is. What's the mic defender on the field? Oh, it's the middle linebacker. No, the hell it ain't. That shit changes with the damn with the formation on the defense. You got to be able to identify that, you know, getting disguises with blitzes, don't know how to slide protections. That shit. And I'm saying it's not easy as I'm making it sound, but these coaches are not putting the time in with these young men. And that's why to go back and talk about that, like to really bring that conversation up, if you're a young player, I want to go to a program that, of course, I want a little bag if I can get a bag for all the hard work I've been putting in. But I want to look at a program that's going to develop me in my position. Do you got everything there for me to develop me to get me ready for the next level? If that's what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? But if you know, because that's a big thing to look at. But the people are not looking at that. They are not looking at that. You could look at certain college programs, and I only been really into college football and doing my research and really dive deep looking into this for the past year and a half. But even I noticed that certain programs around college football are noticed for certain positions. There's not a program that's out there that you can really say that is all well-rounded in every position. Certain programs are known for certain positions on the field. So I want to go to a program that is known for my position. I don't care if I got to go to Tulane because I'm an offensive lineman instead of going to Georgia, but I know Tulane got the best offensive line and coach there. I'm going there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Deion's trying to do. That's why I really see what he's trying to do right now at Colorado. He's trying to get the best coaches for every position at Colorado.
Well, that's not true. Let's not.
He's trying.
Nah,
I didn't say he did. I said he's trying to. I didn't say he did, but he is trying to get the best position coaches there. He is, bro. You bring in a Warren Sapp on the defensive line, and you can't. He's a Pro Bowl winning. You know what I'm saying? The Hall of Fame defensive lineman. He's damn sure going to help you develop your game and get you to where you need to be on that defensive line. Some of them defensive linemen are playing a lot better than what they were, and we have been seeing that defensive line under Coach Lewis, and with Coach Sapp there getting better each and every week. Robert Livingston was an NFL defensive back coach, and he's now calling a defense at the defensive level, so he knows what the NFL is looking for. So he's trying to develop them young men and get them young men. He's trying to get the coaches in there that's there. Now, at some point, he's going to have to cut off the other guys. But even if you can look at the coaches he brought from HBCU. Shit, when you go look at their teams at HBCU, they wasn't fucking around on defense. They was okay in certain positions. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
He's had an improve. He's hired guys that have excelled, that have gotten the best out of his talent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just certain people, like Coach Flea.
Mm-hmm.
He got to go.
Right.
Eventually he has to go. Eventually.
Right. And I think he sees that this year, bro. To be honest with you, he may be gone. I hope he sees that. But who else?
Coach Hart. Coach. What's the linebacker coach?
Yeah, I think you're on there, Coach Hart.
Coach Hart.
Coach Hart or yeah.
Coach Hart, he got to go. Like, you're not bringing the best out of my players. Like, it took him to have to call in a guy that was a linebackers coach at Michigan. And then I said this, but I said it's probably going to happen next year. When their special team coordinator got fired, right? And then that white guy from Michigan, the linebackers coach, came over here, assistant linebackers coach came over here, and you see him outside actually training the linebackers, working with the linebackers. There's a night and day effect that we see with him working with the linebackers from last year. Night and day. And how we can judge that, let's take Hill Green out of this conversation.
We know it. We've seen the change.
Let's look at Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his play compared to last year.
I look. I seen the dog in Bentley, but yeah, I definitely see the difference in their play this year. Yes, I definitely see it. Yep.
Like in if we're gonna run this type of offense where we got a kind of like a Kansas City offense where when you're running back, there's all shit, no glory. Then we gotta be able to convince our players that we get into the system that, hey, this all shit, no glory, but we're gonna get you drafted. See, you can do that all day. All shit, no glory, but you get me drafted, and every running back that we see every year is going from rounds 3 to 6, and he's on the roster for the next 3-4 years, even if he don't stay past that. But he's on the roster for the next 3-4 years because he understands the no shit, all shit, no glory motto. Then it's a great thing. I mean, from the casual, he might say, well, man, we don't do nothing. If I was a running back, I would never go to Colorado. But if we seeing our running backs get drafted in the 3rd round, 4th round, you know what I'm saying, and actually play 3-4 years in the league, that's all shit, no glory. But I guarantee you can sell that. Like, hey, we might not have 1,000-yard rusher, but in the last 6 years, we've had 4 guys drafted.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? That's important.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It is
especially
amazing.
A 3-star, a 4-star, a guy that's on the back end of a 3 and a 4-star, at the top of a 3, bottom of a 4. So he may have schools like Illinois watching him, Iowa watching him, Rutgers or some shit like that, and he got the choice to say, hey, damn, Coach Prime is recruiting me. I can go to Illinois and be a 1,000-yard rusher. Go to Iowa, be a 1,000-yard rusher, or I can go to a school that's always in the Big 12 championship, that's playing in the playoffs year in and year out consecutively. I've seen the guy before him get drafted. I might not have 1,000 yards, but shit, it's all shit, no glory. I could be a Dominic Rhodes, who Isaiah Pacheco, motherfucking me, what was old gold dude from Minnesota? He was a beast on goddamn Madden, bro. I can't think of his name, man.
Or Adrian Peterson.
No, not Adrian Peterson. He used to play for Minnesota. He used to play for New England, bro. Lawrence Maroney. Lawrence Maroney. I could be a Lawrence Maroney. Feel what I'm saying? I could be at the highest of my game of Jamal Charles. You feel what I'm saying? I can be what's another back that got all shit but no glory? Man, I'm trying to think of a back. Eddie Lacy, or who came after Eddie Lacy? What was the guy named after Eddie Lacy?
See, you got Alabama had so many down backs there, man. Eddie Lacy, who? And Mark Ingram, who you want there? You gotta get your boy up here, man. To talk about
Trenton Richardson.
No, I'm saying being a back where you being a back for a team, because so teams that value people that play within all shit, no glory, right? And somebody who already has that successful mind state in that is very draftable. So let's say I have Josh Allen, right? But you got Isaiah Augustus, who played with Shador, who never ran for 1,000 yards, right? Never had over 150 carries or 100 carries a year. But I look at his yards per average, it's 7.5, 7.6. He got 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns a season.
Jalen Miller is the best back there.
Jalen. I think Jalen Miller should be the starting running back, and I think what's his name? Isaiah Wilton should be second. But next year, I'm talking next year. But when you got somebody like that who like I say, who understands all shit, no glory mentality, shit, that him going to the NFL could change his whole family trajectory. You know what I'm saying? He making $500,000-$600,000 a year.
That's what get them. Sometimes that decision may get you exposed though in the NFL though, especially at the quarterback position, a position that requires you to be so cerebral at times and to know things. Like you got to pick the right university for that. But for running back, I think that's a position that, no disrespect to running backs, but I don't know how cerebral being a running back is compared to being a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
not necessarily,
but you do have to develop receiver skills as a running back. So I think going to Colorado as a running back, I think that may be a school you want to go to if that's how they're going to run their offense. You know what I mean? Because I see good receivers there. Now I got some good receivers to develop. If you got Terrell Owens around you and Chad Johnson and Terrell Owens teaching you how to run routes, like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Or correcting you on that, that gotta be a great thing. I don't know if he's gonna pull Ed Reed in there at some point in time or whatever, but man, like, having guys around you like that helps out so much with your game, man. It don't even. And to talk to the exposing thing, like I get what you're saying, like, okay, I can go to a school that's going to get me noticed, you know what I'm saying? But then that's also why a lot of these guys go to the NFL and get exposed. And then a lot of these guys who were 3 stars but went to the correct school wind up being just as good as a pro and getting paid just as much as the guy who got all the attention and got longevity in his career because he knows exactly how to make his calls, what to recognize in the defense or offense and everything else. So later on, it'll catch up to you. Yeah, right now, to get the quick buck, I get it, to get your hustle. And I get your point, Saleh. It's a great point. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get the quick buck right now, yeah, I can go to the school, get noticed in that position, or I can go to the correct school, get the proper training and everything that I need, and it's going to have me longevity. So you can be thinking for the short term or the long term. It depends on how you want to think and who's advising these young men to make these moves that they're making. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can go, you can go to a school and sit for a year, get the proper training, or you can go to Tulsa and start right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you learning something there? Starting right away, or you learning sitting behind somebody because they got, you know what I'm saying, the best position of training for your position there, and that people's not advising them the right way when it go to that parenting, coaching, and they're not advising them. And I done gave a lot of slack to that man, Coach Prime, man. I did. But to see what he's trying to build and what he's doing over there, man, I gotta give kudos to that. And I think some people, that's how those big programs stay the way they are, is because of the guys who they bring in, and the guys that we don't hear about that come in as graduate assistants or position analysts, and that don't get talked about enough. But there's a lot of guys who played in the NFL that are scattered around throughout college football that play that or hold positions like analysts and grad assistants that are there coaching these guys up. And those programs, you can tell, or getting that. And there's other programs you could tell that don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Because there's no way Ollie Gordon goes from being a 17-yard rusher to being barely getting 1,000 this year. Then when you look at Omarion Hampton at UNC, he's at UNC. UNC they've been pushing out some good backs the past couple of years. Javonte Williams over there at Denver right now. Now you looking at Omarion Hampton, he's probably going to make the transition well. There's just certain programs that's doing that and certain programs that's not. And I think the programs that are really doing that, they got these pro guys that are embedded in the programs, man. And a young athlete should be looking at that more than the bag. The bag is always going to come. It's always going to come. It's a grind. If you ain't got it now, you're going to get it. But look at the program that's going to develop you and your talent, because the longevity matters. The bag is the NFL. Don't think of the short-term bag, being on a couple of KFC commercials right now. Think about owning a couple of KFCs because you get paid in the NFL 5 years from now. You dig? That's all I'm saying. But I think we had a great show, man. I appreciate y'all guys coming through, man, and kicking it with us tonight, man. Kicking it with me, Solid and Cliff.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday evening, man. Make sure that y'all check out. I'm probably gonna drop it tomorrow, but put y'all little notifications on. I put my game recap, my game picks. I was off on a couple picks this week. I did better last week. I think I went 10 for 13 last week. I don't know what I went for this week. I ain't keep score, but I definitely did do the recap. I'll probably be putting that out, man. But I salute everybody up out there, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. My Rawhide fam. Oh yeah, little bucket, man. Rawhide, he out here, man. He ain't worried about Colorado winning or losing. You funny. Let him handle that though. He'll be up on here. Trust and believe, bro. He ain't nowhere. Matter of fact, Rawhide right here. You ain't got to come on, bro. You good? Go ahead.
Right.
All right, peace, fam.
All right, peace.
All right.